Why the fuck not? Wow, it's getting hot in here. Yeah, the title's not clickbait. We have stuff to talk about. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. So Red is over next door. She's going to be doing some of the chat. Hopefully she can find a Square link for donations, because I'm done with PayPal and all this crap. Hey, JW's here. JW, did you get your shirt finally? So Ravel's here, awesome. The huge news, the more important news than the fucking Mormons. It's very loud here, as usual. So I finally finished the negotiations. We own Adventures with Jim t-shirt design outright. I can do anything I want with it now. Link below. You can not only get t-shirts, you can get hoodies. We have now girl shirts, and they deliver to the EU, something that I couldn't do before. So the Adventures with Jim Epic Black t-shirts, I purchased the design outright. Could do anything we need to do with it now. Link below. Yes, we can get new ones. Finally. Some stuff in chat here. JW. Oh, yeah, it's been very busy. I must have missed that email. Yeah, very excited. We have finally, the whole thing's worked out. Bought the design outright, and now I can move forward with it, have it on anything I want. We have hoodies again. The hoodies are way the fuck overpriced. Nothing I can do about that. They are expensive to get in the first place. I don't know if I have the long sleeve sweaters, but I could make that happen if you leave a comment below to remind me or whatever, because there's a number of different designs. I have products I can add the design to. So yes, very excited. That was one of the big three I was working on. Working in a thrift store, I've accumulated some stuff. It's become a problem. The ambulance is kind of crowded right now. Yes, we do have hoodies. Like I said, the hoodies are a little more expensive than I would like, but it's because the base price is so high to begin with that, I don't know, I'd like to find a cheaper source on hoodies. But yes, we can actually get hoodies through that link that's in the description, and maybe Red would be nice enough and throw it up there and copy paste for me. But who cares about t-shirts? Everybody wants to know about the Mormons. So in the 3 weeks that I worked for Desert Industries Thrift Store, not only did I manage to accumulate way too much shit, yes, Red did get a winter jacket. Yes, she did. We did a live show of the boobies. I wanted to mention that. And whoever sent the money, I apologize, I forget who, because my brain is fucking old. Yes, we did get Red a jacket that fit around the boobs and will snap. So she's happy about that. But like I said, I just spent 3 weeks working for Desert Industries, finished up my contract there. I did not get fired, as was threatened by certain members. So that never happened. They, even if I had been reported to Desert Industries, they didn't care, because the people they had working there were so bad that I look like Superman by comparison. You know, grungy ass 51-year-old me was just so much better than the people they had. They weren't letting me go. They didn't even want me to leave at the end of the contract. No. I have to go. It's too cold. And it was cold. Where was I going with all this? I don't know. So if you will remember, Desert Industries and me, we have a bit of a difference of opinion on some things. Now, I was in a bit of a moral issue of whether or not I should be helping the enemy by, doing all the work I was doing for them. My moral conclusion to that was, well, they are helping their enemy by paying me a wage. So it's a draw. 1 degree, yes. Salt Lake City, 2 nights ago was 1 degree. Last night it was 3 degrees. We're not there anymore. So the whole story is I finished my contract. And we spent some part of yesterday and this morning driving south. We have finally outrun the snow. We're into palm trees. I am so fucking excited. We have finally come far enough south. There are palm trees again. I am excited. But it didn't end there with people threatening to get me fired. I'm sure they tried. Desert Industries wasn't having it. I was the person they needed in that spot, and they still need. They are a little morally ambiguous. They are morally ambiguous, as I am. So I thought it was fair trade. So there was the threats to get me fired. Then the harassment started, where these cars, wherever we were parked, would zoom around and they would target the ambulance in particular. They would park in front of the ambulance, bright lights, flashing lights, yelling at me, blowing their horns, whatever. This happened a couple of times. And finally, the last night we were in Salt Lake, they're doing this again, blowing their horns at me, and they're targeting the ambulance. They're leaving the RV alone. They're zooming around in circles in their little pickup trucks. And one guy grabs a shopping cart, zooms around in a circle, launches the shopping cart at the ambulance, which of course it just bounces off this fucking tank. But I mean, just straight up fucking attack by the Mormons, because they were mad at me because I'm an atheist working for Desert Industries, a Mormon-run charity thrift store. That was it was an interesting night. Oh, well, JW, we're halfway to Vegas. We're more than halfway to Vegas. We're about 100 miles outside of Vegas. Yeah. Christmas in Vegas, baby. It's happening. Hey, there's Real Honest Truth. And Coin Hunting Truth says, what do I smoke? Whatever's cheap. And in Utah, these are almost $4. Jesus. South Carolina, they're 99 cents. So yeah, I'm sorry, I got distracted by cars and thinking about all of the crazy of the Mormons. So yeah, the 3 weeks we spent there, threats, harassment, straight up fucking attacks on the ambulance, just proves to me what I already know about the Mormons. They're batshit. Of course, wherever we're at here, I also have to be careful because there's a lot of stick people. Stick people. Let me explain. If you've never been to Salt Lake or to Utah in general, let me explain stick people to you. Red found this out the hard way. Women with curves are considered unrighteous. Women are supposed to be super skinny, according to God, apparently. So when you look around, there are these desperately thin women. I mean, their legs are that big around. Like, they're skeletal. I have seen them so thin and emaciated, they can't walk. Yeah, poor old Clyde was targeted. And the thing is, it was me in particular. That didn't bother her so much. But, she was discriminated against for being a woman with curves, because she's supposed to be this little stick figure person. This is apparently, she's unrighteous because she's not a stick figure. But here where we're staying now tonight, we went into Walmart. Oh my God, there's a lot of stick people. And they all have this little fucked up, funny haircut. This is why you travel. This is why you travel. I've heard stories. I'm aware of who they are. I've read part of the book. I got as far as the magic underwear in my reading through of Book of Mormon. And Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. That's about all I need to know. So, I think we slept last night in Nephi, which is a town named after a chapter from the Book of Mormon. Yeah, that's exciting. And Red actually acquitted herself very well in Salt Lake, while the Desert Industries tried to get rid of her, which ended poorly for my company. More on that later. She went on to another job where they made her shift lead and gave her keys to the company van to drive the crew around to different work sites. So Red did extraordinarily well in the jobs she was able to get in Salt Lake, but a lot of the jobs are designed to exclude women. They just are. So the whole thing with Red and Desert Industries was I ended up contacting corporate HR of my company. I work for People Ready. Corporate then calls the local office, who wasn't happy. And Red was allowed to finish her contract at Desert Industries and then went on to other jobs. Instead of being forced out, Red was not forced out or fired from Desert Industries. They had to take her back or face legal action, basically, because they were discriminating against a woman. And that might work for the folks around here, doesn't work for the rest of the world. I want to see what's in chat. Red, join your man. Yeah, Red has insulation. But, so all of that is why we travel. To experience the world firsthand and not through, second or third hand stories. I know you guys are watching me. And my point is, get out there and experience it. The Branch Davidians, the worst thing they did was follow us like 50 miles down the road. The Mormons flat out attacked the ambulance with a shopping cart. Fucking whack job people, let me tell you. Well, I'm not telling anybody where I am tonight. I'm just telling you there are palm trees and there's no snow, and I'm very fucking happy about that. Right. So, Red finished her contract at Desert Industries under threat, and she knew they didn't want her, that they were trying to discriminate and get away with it. She didn't let them. She forced the contract down their throats because we would have made them eat it. She finished her contract and went on to other jobs where she was promoted to be the lead, which was awesome. Apparently they wanted her back, but the job got snowed out for the second week or some shit. I don't know. Oh, there's Jason. Yeah, Jason, never did get fired. Nice try, buddy. We found a bucket full of Meg in Somerville this week. Jealous. Very jealous. But Desert Industries has inspired me. Are the 3 videos still in production? There's always videos in production that I never get around to finishing. I'm trying to read this long text. PC Rage. I was working on a transmission once. Mormons showed up. One wanted to help and got under the truck and got all dirty helping me remove a transmission. Some of them are all right. And some of them are fucking batshit. No doubt. The people I worked for, because I was a man, number one, did not mess with me. They did not insist on, they didn't bring up any kind of religious stuff with me. I was not discriminated against at work. I am told, after my first couple of days there, that they wanted to fire me because I'm not one of them. However, one of the higher up guys, managers, ended up having to swap out and working with me for like the 3rd day. And after that, the word was, no, we need to keep this guy. We can't It doesn't matter. Just go with it. We need him. So after that, I was, they gave me more hours on my contract, extended my contract, and wanted to extend it again. And no, I need, no, I didn't quit. I finished my contract. And that's, what else is there? I work as temp, right? So my contract is up. There's like 6 to 8 inches of snow up there. Fuck that. I'm going somewhere warm. Need to hit Area 51, of course. If I can find third phase, maybe they can give me some places to go. And but I will say, Desert Industries has inspired me. It's inspired me to something else. Like I said, they did not discriminate against me because I'm a man. They did not bring up the religious crap. And even when they had their morning devotional, I was supposed to go to the morning devotional, but they didn't say anything when I didn't show up. That's just the way it was. They didn't care. The value of having me on staff was more than forcing me into the morning devotional. But what I found personally, it was one of my favorite jobs in a very, very long time. Yes, I was loading furniture to the showroom floor. Not the showroom, the thrift store floor. But in the process, I got to deal with everything. Electronics and exercise equipment and antiques. And I so enjoyed it. I have a weird idea. I think I need to open my own store. Brick-and-mortar store. Junk shop, thrift store, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I think that is a hell of a fucking plan. Because between me and Red, we know so much about nothing when it comes to stuff, things, right? Objects. I very much enjoyed all of the puzzles, figuring out how to price things, what's worth selling, what's not worth selling. And they pretty much let me have free reign on that. If I wanted to throw something away because it was garbage, nobody questioned me. Because I had the experience. This is what I think we need to do. Me and Red need to open our own junk shop somewhere. What do you guys think? I thought you had a special project video in the works. I always do. Things have been difficult because of the short days, short winter days, cold weather really just bucks me up. And when I get home from work, I'm dead tired anyways, and it's pitch black and like 4 degrees outside. That's not fun. So, Desert Industries was really fucking good for me. It showed me what I genuinely enjoyed in life is being Sanford and Son, right? Let's just go with it. I want to be Sanford and Son because, I'm a fucking multiple personality anyway. So, he's me and Luke, Sanford and Son. Right? So, how do I make that happen, right? We live in RVs. AZ doesn't observe daylight saving times. Hey, there's a point in their favor. So what do we need? So if we're going to start our own shop, our own junk shop, brick and mortar, for one, are we done traveling? We've been out for like 5 years, 4 years. I don't fucking. We've been out a long time on the road. It's fun. You see a lot of stuff. But when something happens, like when, the ambulance is targeted by batshit crazy Mormons, what do? Well, I don't have the interest to stand and make some kind of fight and legal battle and all kinds of bullshit. I'm ready to go to the next spot fucking anyways. So you can't really get involved because you're just passing through. And I don't want to waste the time in Salt Lake where the snow and the misery and the discrimination and harassment is going to continue when 3 weeks was actually longer than I wanted to spend there in the first place. So, are we ready to stop traveling? I don't know. Once we got to southern Utah, scenery changes a little bit. There are palm trees. There are fucking palm trees. So we still have a few destinations left before we get to brick and mortar, gem and red, the junk store. So, of course, we want to do Vegas, Area 51, debating Death Valley, not making any promises. Since I got closed out of Bonneville due to snow, Death Valley, then to Phoenix. We want to hang out there for a while. So what do we need? We need someplace where we would be able to get jobs to support ourselves while opening brick and mortar. Opening brick and mortar won't be easy. Rent and inventory are the biggest obstacles, obviously. So we need like 4 things. A city where there are reasonable job opportunities for thrift, so we can support ourselves while we're building all this, while not being a 70-hour week, backbreaking job. So we need job opportunities. We need storage. We need a big storage locker. Because to build this, you start with auctions and storage auctions and other thrift stores, and other flea markets. And that's the next part we need. Other flea markets. We need to have several high traffic flea markets in the area. And so what we do is we work more or less part-time to support ourselves, collect shit, and haul it to the flea market. Build from that to rent a brick and mortar building and potentially hook up with a charity. Say local animal shelter. We'll give you 10% if we can put your name on there and collect donations. So we're buying inventory to come in. Some of it's coming in through donations. Some of it's going back out to animal shelter. Whatever. It's a theory. At some point, we can take time off to do collecting adventures where we rent a truck and a trailer and we go traveling, hundreds of miles just to go collect stuff for the store. It's a theory. It's not a good one. So what should we call it? So what should we call the Jim and Red junk store? See, because I have this theory that between the fucked up economy, inflation, and things just getting weird, and everybody trying to be online sales and, click on my link for my t-shirts down below to buy them online, that I have a feeling there's coming a backlash where people don't want to order on Amazon. They don't want Uber Eats. They want to go out to the real thing, but they're not going to have the money. So we provide used products, cheap prices, and a real experience rather than go click on my web store to see what I have for sale. I don't think that's going to fly anymore. I think people are tired of that. They want to see. They want to touch and feel reality again because everybody's becoming so disconnected. Oh, PC Rage, 2 junkies. That's the name of the store. I like that. But I think we are coming to a point where we're going to have a backlash from, Amazon Prime being flushed down your toilet, your throat. That's a weird turn of phrase. I think there's going to be a backlash from that where people want real stuff, like my content. Third Phase of Moon, one of my favorite channels. They get on me all the time about bad titles, bad thumbnails, because everybody wants that clickbait. And they're right. They are absolutely 100% right. That is a huge part of why my channel doesn't do as well. But on the other hand, I focus my energy on filming real content, not clickbait. And their content is different from mine in a big way. I'm talking more about the channels like, oh, the top 5 reasons why you have a heart attack. Who cares? Right? Those are all robot-created content. You send a robot out to find you some facts on the internet, and then you put up a clickbait thumbnail and an exciting title. I want my videos to continue to be the crap that they are, going out and doing real stuff. Let's see the comment. Cable storage TV shows have killed storage auctions. Yeah, well, everything on reality TV shows are staged. Yeah, one weird trick. Call it one weird trick. So I want to go to, just the regular auctions, put up advertisements, we'll buy junk, that kind of crap. There's always ways to find inventory. I put that out there as something that will help people understand that, yeah, you can't actually just go out and buy truckloads of bullshit. I think the storage wars, or whatever the fuck they want to call it, those are all staged. Just like Penn and Teller. That's all other story. So Real Honest Truth says, when we go to Area 51, find the hotel run by the old couple, ask them how to contact ETs, and they'll tell us. Yeah, we go to state sales, right? Whatever, go to auctions. That stuff's still out there. But so we work, regular jobs while accumulating inventory, and then start building up the business itself as an LLC through flea markets. No, I'm not planning to run my own auctions because of the permits and shit that would require. Unless I would for that, I would have to bring in like a licensed auctioneer and all that crap. If the right situation presented itself, knew the right people, ran into the right people, made connections, maybe. But me personally, no. I'm good at talking at live shows, not good at doing auctions. Be like, motherfucker, you can buy this or what? But, so that is, I think, the future. We have a few destinations left, and then what? I don't want to go to California, except maybe Death Valley, or to visit Rosie. I could be persuaded to go visit Rosie, as long as I don't have to get out of the car anywhere in California, except at the rancho. Yeah. I don't want to go Oregon, Washington. Gee, we go up there and, get burned down by Antifa or what the fuck ever. At least it'll rain to put your fire out. So, what city? I mean, on my list, Phoenix is actually possible. If we can find a way to keep red cool during the summer. But Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Florida. Not Savannah. I love Savannah, but no. The traffic in Savannah is a nightmare. Charleston's number 2 on that nightmare traffic list. But I want to be somewhere either East Coast or Gulf Coast. I want to be near palm trees, beaches, and bikinis. And I want to see red in a bikini. Key West. What the hell am I going to do in Key West? That's way too far from reality to do anything. Something like 1,000 miles to go from Charleston to Key West. Well, some other things I'm thinking about. It is a city between 100,000 and 500,000 people. Not a deal breaker if it's bigger, but you got to have a certain base population to start your business of people who will, buy your crap and will have things to auction. But you don't want to get into, the middle of downtown LA, right? That's too big. That's too insane. I don't want to do that. Too many problems, drugs, break-ins, homeless, all that. So you're looking for the right size city. a city that we enjoy, that we like. You know, I like to panhandle. Yeah, Death Valley still has many abandoned sites to metal detect and explore. Death Valley Jim has been quite infamous. I've heard of Death Valley Queen. It's flogging Molly song. Or maybe I could be the Death Valley Queen. A little pretty dress. So Ravel to Expand says, can you send hoodies to Canada? Not 100% sure. I know there is a shirt that can be sent internationally, but I don't think all the products are internationally available. I'll have to look into that, or you can just put it in your checkout and try to check out and see what it tells you. And if it won't, I will look into see if there's some way we can get the shirts to Canada, the hoodies to Canada. I know there is a shirt that is specifically for the EU. And what they do is they print it over there instead of printing it here. Instead of, shipping a shirt, they send a digital file, print the shirt there, and then ship it. It's cheaper. Hopefully they can do the same with Canada. Whew, getting warm in here. JNR Wayfarers. No, I don't want to be associated with Wayfarers. The last I heard, they were shipping children. People buying like $4,000 or $12,000 shelf kits, which was just a large box with a child in it. Something to that effect. So the other project that I've been working on is the Adventures with Jim Studio. And it's bad right now. Have you got any big plans for your YouTube channel this winter? We're in the desert. So, like I said, we're going to do Area 51 because it's fucking hilarious. Mariana, sorry. So we're going to be doing meteorite and golden nugget hunting in the desert. To fuck what, Red? So yeah, from here on out, it's just like everywhere you look is BLM land. That was weird. So I want to spend quite a bit of time. Red is desperate to meet a saguaro, the cactuses. If you will send it to China first, China will ship it back to Canada. Oh yeah, if we could ship things to China, it only costs 50 cents to ship it back. So I would like to do Death Valley. It's going to depend on financing and, shirt sales and donation links and jobs we can find. Are you fully vegetarian with your BLM card? I don't think that's required in Death Valley. If I want to go see Rosie at Santa Clara, it might be. They might check you at the door just trying to get into the city. Is there any shirt in Death Valley? You better be wearing a shirt in Death Valley. I don't know what's there. ATC Rider X says, well, I suggest not going. Live from Death Valley would be fucking hilarious if I could get a signal. But I want to do meteorite hunting and gold nugget hunting all throughout Nevada, Arizona. So Death Valley's on the edge of I don't know if we have time for that. But between Vegas and Phoenix, there's so much open space just to go explore. Got to get that out of my system before I can even seriously consider opening a store. That's the future I'm headed towards. As to opening our own junk/antique/thrift store. Because I had so much fun working for Desert Industries. Because my job wasn't one thing. It wasn't like I'm on an assembly line, put this piece on, right? I was dealing with all of the junk. Yeah, there's probably Shirt in Death Valley, though it's probably not Flint enough. Then go to Flint Ridge, Ohio. I mean, if we're going back east eventually, I will get you some nice, colorful, beautiful Ohio Flint. I know places. Here's a secret for you. Don't tell anybody I told you this. Flint Ridge, Ohio. Flint Ridge, Ohio is either a protected state park or it might even be a national park. You cannot collect any rocks inside the Flint Ridge area in Ohio. But there's a fence. If you walk along that fence outside of the protected state historic national park, whatever the fuck it is, there's still plenty of beautiful Flint Ridge Flint that's not protected. And it's legal to collect because it's not from the national park. You're on the other side of the fence. So I've gotten a lot of really beautiful stuff out of Flint Ridge by walking the outside of the fence line. And some farmers, you talk to them, you go, hey, I'm just going to walk along here, pick up some flint rock, and they don't care. So yeah, I'll get you some good stuff out of Ohio. Yes, we have to do the Grand Canyon, which I don't want to do necessarily because national park preserve, you can't actually collect anything there. What fun is that? I suppose we'll go because it'll be pretty and all that, whatever. The drive south here, southern Utah, very nice, very nice. It kind of goes from that mountainy ski resort kind of feel, and it just slams into Red Rock Desert. Oh, I'm very excited to get out in the desert. I do have the G2. I'm very excited to see what the G2 will do swinging in the desert. Red wants a donkey ride to the bottom. I'm not sure my back can take it. Patrick, what's up, dudes and dudettes? Jim, you're such a chill dude. Cheers to you and Red. Well, thank you. Right. So Kay wants to know, what of all the states, what has been our favorite? Well, I can tell you Utah is not on that list. And neither is Oklahoma, by the way. All right, see you, ATC. As far as favorite states, I mean, I don't know. I loved New Mexico, except the politics weren't great. So mine would be like Florida, like the panhandle of Florida. Before you hit, the psycho old people part of Florida. Man. Panhandle of Florida is great. New Orleans is great, not a state, but a city. Cheyenne was surprisingly interesting. Yeah, Ron DeSantis for president. Let's go, Brandon. DeSantis is just being a monster lately. Of course, North Carolina, South Carolina, because that's, where we have lived so long. I don't have any problems with those. Ohio is not a great place to live necessarily, but it is a place of massive opportunity. If you are without a job for more than 3 days in Columbus, Ohio, it's you, baby. It's not the place. Columbus, Ohio is just unbelievable for employment opportunity. Not a terrible place, but it's got issues. Not my favorite place to live. but a hell of a place to work. So there are, these little pockets of areas we run into. Rapid City got a lot of issues with the natives. Aggressive begging, break-ins, drugs, crime, but it is on the edge of the Black Hills, which is awesome. So, it's where do you go? Any place you can go in the country, you can go anywhere you want. Where do you want to go? Where would you like to go? Yeah, so Red says South Dakota, Wyoming. The problem with those places is there's really not a lot up there. You got the Black Hills, you get into Wyoming, you get into the Badlands, which is awesome. Go dinosaur hunting. But outside of that, there's really nothing there. Whereas South Carolina, you can go into Charleston. You can go to the beach. You can go to the swamps. You can look for old Revolutionary War. You can look for Civil War. Most astronauts are from Ohio. Makes you wonder what's so bad there they want to leave Earth. Ravel says Florida. Yeah, we were in Lawton, Ohio. We're in Lawton, Oklahoma. I was working night shift. I was the crew lead for that Lowe's project. And she'd be calling me a couple times a night. Well, they're out here shooting again. I could see Red going to Oatman, Arizona. What is Oatman? And John Herman says, hello, Red. So what's in Oatman, Arizona? I don't know. Find out. Eventually you find out pretty much most places are just like all the other places. There are very few that stand out as this was awesome. Every place has its issues. Every place has its downsides. I mean, like where we're at in Utah right now, long ways away from Salt Lake. A lot of fucking stick people out there. Oatman is the place with the mules walking through town. Oh, so I'll fit right in. No one will even notice me. Oh. It's like, I like New Mexico. One, we got the blue politics going on down there. Winslow, Arizona. Oh, God. No. But the other problem with places like Arizona and New Mexico, in terms of running a business, no habla español. It makes it incredibly difficult to do business. Even at the flea markets in Ohio, in Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, a lot of times you end up negotiating, right? That's how the conversation literally goes because we don't speak the same language. Yeah, so we do have the Adventures with Jim t-shirts are back for good. Finally negotiated the deal, bought the design outright. We own it. It's ours forever. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. I think I'm going to put it on a mask just to be funny. I tried to put it on the leggings, but it just, because I wanted my face like, right there on the ass, because, why not? And I couldn't figure out how to line it up. Phones have translators now. Well, there you go. But the other project that Desert Industries started me on, accelerated, was the Adventures with Jim Studio. Some of you may know I've been accumulating things like 8mm and 16mm home movies, but that's not all. I have been accumulating old device here or there, hard drive, video cameras, videotapes, different formats of videotapes. So I have tons of old media that I want to turn into content. Plus all these devices And my time at Desert Industries, I bought a hell of a lot of stuff. So I was getting really good prices. Those guys were nuts on how they were pricing stuff. The problem is that I'm finding now, how do I plug it all in? I have all this. You wouldn't believe what's in the ambulance right now. You just wouldn't believe it. How do I get it all connected and composed into a single, coherent video? It's like these 8mm videos, 8mm films that I have. These are old home movies. Some of them go back to the 40s. So I want to take these, transpose them to digital, and then we add our own dialogue and sound effects to it, because I think it'll be fucking hilarious. Hey, Got Relics, Rhode Island. Hey, what's up? Red, when is Red coming out with a shirt? I've been trying to come up with a good concept for Red. Something about the Red Mountains. I don't know. We're working on it. Yes, I have my own merch now. Fancy, I have my own merch. Well, we've had it all along. It's just there have been issues with getting it reprinted, but like I said, negotiated the deal, bought the design outright, paid cash for it, so I own the design. There are no more issues with getting the design printed. Cheer, guys, I'm drinking a bush in your honor. Yeah, the Red Range. So, short term, I'm going to spend the next couple of months in the desert while we flesh out this idea of doing the junk shop. I really like that. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out how to plug in the Adventures with Jim studio. You guys don't know what's off camera. It's a nightmare. Everything that I've collected. It's not good. It's not good. We have no room. And the first piece, and I'll tell you this will probably be an upcoming video, is I bought a little 800-watt generator simply to power the studio because the solar's not going to cut it. I have way too much stuff right now. The solar's going, fuck you. No. So I actually have a generator that needs a little bit of work. I think I can get it running again. If I can keep this fucking 1987 ambulance rolling across the country for 2 fucking years, I think I can fix an 800-watt generator. Me and Joe Rogan, I think that would be funny. I don't know. He kind of likes really far out guys like Elon. And, God, who's the other one he used to have on there all the time? David Icke. There's a fun guy. But yeah, lots going on. And I want to do a series of videos. I'm building the studio piece by piece. Like, first video, we get the power on, get the generator running. And from there, we run into something else. How do I plug in the next piece? And how do I get the next piece going? And I'll give you a hint here. I got a whole collection of these. Since, there's only like 23 people. A whole collection of these. This is Art Linkletter and 1967. These are vinyl. The Art of Homemaking. And I have 3 sets of these in various topics. These would be absolutely goddamn hilarious for me and Red to sit down and listen to and to respond to. I've previewed like 5 minutes of this album. It's goddamn hilarious. Art Linkletter does the intro. It's under his organization. And then, some other woman comes along and narrates. This stuff's fucking hilarious. If you go to any university, they have monster computer called the Grid, which does not need downloads. I don't know what that means. Don't forget, I just had an organism. Yeah. So I have all this media that I want to turn into content. I have all of this equipment to create. And now the problem is finding the right cable. You wouldn't believe the crap I've got. We're getting there. It'll all come out in video eventually. This is like, the next step in the project. So when I'm bored and tired of roaming the desert, not finding meteorites or gold nuggets, come back to the ambulance and I'll work on the studio. Meanwhile, I'm going to be hitting thrift stores. As I have a feeling we're going back east next year. We're going back to East Coast next year. Start accumulating Western treasures. Navajo jewelry, for one. Haul all that Navajo jewelry back to Tennessee, Sevierville. Beautiful fucking flea markets in Sevierville. We've done those a few times. To the flea markets in Greensboro and Charleston, South Carolina, not West Virginia. So we take all the Western goodies and we haul them all out there. Don't know where I'm going to put them yet. I'm working on it. But the ambulance has been running unbelievably fucking well on the way down here. It's I was cruising to like 75 miles an hour today. The ambulance at 55 becomes a danger to society. At 55, my danger to society, if I hit a series of potholes that are lined up just so, the ambulance will start fishtailing, and I almost lose control. So I have to be very careful to watch the road. You cannot zone out while driving this truck. You will die. At 65, most roads, steering wheel gets a little jitterbuggy. At 75, you're going to die. But the road was so good and so just open and clear today, and I've got so much fixed on the ambulance now that it was just humming along. I'd look down, I'm doing fucking 75 miles an hour. That's insane. A 10,000 pound missile. One pothole, and I'd just be rolling end to end. A doggy wants an empty bottle. He may. Yeah, Art Linkletter's kids say the darndest things is hilarious. Yeah, but Art Linkletter with this very, women stay at home and look pretty for your man. Me and Red are gonna have a fucking ball with this set of records, but I got to figure out how to present that in an interesting way that people would like to watch. For that, I need the studio running. To get the studio running, I need power. The 400 watt inverter's not going to cut it. The Hadron Collider is connected to the computer called the grid. I don't have my tinfoil hat on for that. Oh yeah, we have Adventure with Jim stickers. I forgot about that. I put the design on stickers too. Oh. Hey Red, I need you to bring me over the bumper sticker I bought you today. Red, try art suggestions. Oh. Trust me, when we get into this record collection, Red's going to have something to say about it. Patrick asks, is Revolution coming in 2022? I doubt it. Literally, most people are just going to roll over and, play dead and obey. Have you heard about Facebook Meta? Red, I need the sticker. Bring the sticker over. So Facebook Meta, if you don't know already, is this idea that we will live and work in an entirely virtual world. You will have a set of goggles on, you maybe have some gloves, have some, sensory feedback on your body, whatever. You will go to work, sitting in a chair, connected to your computer. You will go to a virtual office where you will work on a virtual computer with your virtual coworkers. You'll go to dance parties with imaginary people. Everything will happen inside of VR. This is Facebook's version. I guess they're not Facebook anymore. They're Meta now. That's the concept of Meta. Your entire life will be lived out inside a computer. And you will simply be sitting at home connected to the virtual world. I'm in my jammies. Generators are about to be in hot demand. So is my solar. My solar needs to be, I think I have some bad connections, so I need to go through all my connections on my controller and my batteries, and probably need to wash the solar panels again. But I only have 200 watts on the roof, and that is not enough, even with the battery backups. The batteries are going to get drained through the solar fills the batteries. That's not enough to run enough equipment to keep the studio running. And this is why virtual meta and virtual reality world, they're trying to push everybody to be trapped in this world. This is why I think a brick and mortar store has to happen. It has to. There's going to be so much of a backlash where people are tired and they just want to be out in the real world. I think a brick and mortar store can still work, and it's going to become even more important. Omicron is the invisible man, literally. The first 19 strains didn't kill me. I'm okay with another one coming along. I'm fine. And by the way, there's no fucking way me and Red have not had COVID. We've crossed the country twice during lockdown. So we are going into Arizona soon, in a couple of weeks. There's a generator down there that we're going to buy to replace her built-in generator. Super cheap, looks very clean. But it's down in Arizona. Like I'm upset about that. Not real thrilled about going to Vegas. I mean, okay, Vegas is Vegas. It's glittery and lightsy and all that shit. I want to be out in the fucking desert. Red wants to see the saguaros. But I am very surprised there are palm trees in southern Utah. I knew they were in Arizona and farther west. And palm trees are a big deal. South Carolina. Oh, I think I have my sticker.
Hi.
Oh, this tripod doesn't.
Ready?
All right.
Moving in slowly.
Well, it's probably going to be backwards.
Hello, beaver.
So I bought her that for the RV. Of course, you have to have a beer cozy.
And no, that doesn't mean Jerry Matters. What?
What?
Jerry Matters.
Jerry Matters?
The beaver.
Oh.
That's your beer cozy.
All right, so this is mine. I'll keep that. I don't even have any beer today.
I'm in my pajamas. I'm going back over here.
Yeah, I don't even have any beer today. Very depressed about that. However, when we left South Carolina on this last trip west, gas was about $1.19. Now it's $3.80 because I put in the 88 or 89 in the ambulance. The 85, the ambulance runs like shit on 85. Jason Glover says he's an automotive engine mechanic. He's a grease monkey. Awesome. I hate to inform Jason. There is no job that a human can do that a robot can't do better. Robots are doing brain surgery remotely. They can work on a car engine. And that's not to put down anybody. Not put you down, Jason. I'm telling you, The idea is to get everybody locked in their homes, working virtually, and you would virtually be controlling a robot fixing that car engine. Why would we need car engines? Because there aren't going to be any cars to drive the. See what I'm saying? The world is changing, and not always in a good way. And now I've moved my tripod. Yeah, so if everybody's home, nobody needs a car. Nobody needs a car mechanic. However, there will be vehicles on the road for various purposes. Amazon Prime trucks, which will all be electric, which will be easy for the robots to know how to fix. So you will control a robot fixing a car. That is the vision of Meta. It's not to put down anybody's job, but everybody needs to know that we are in a period in time where a vast majority of the jobs in America are nothing but busy work. The only reason we don't have the robot apocalypse right now is because so many people would be out of work. There would be absolute fucking chaos. What do I mean by people? Most of our jobs are busy work right now, so that people don't riot. We've all experienced road construction, haven't we? And you've got a guy out there with a sign that says, stop, slow, stop, slow. You do realize, of course, it's cheaper to have two machines at either end with gates or stoplights. That would be more accurate, cheaper, more efficient. So why do we have the guy holding the stop sign? We waste money because he not only gets a paycheck, he has workers' comp, he has insurance, he has benefits, he has retirement, whatever, right? So there's all these associated costs. That machine that sits at the end of the construction zone, stop, go, doesn't have a retirement plan. The only reason is so that people continue to be employed. We don't need anybody working at a McDonald's. We have robots that can do it just fine. In fact, you can even go to the kiosk now and order. The reason we don't do that is because so many people would be out of work. There would be nothing but riots and burning streets. Jason, take offense at whatever you like. What I'm telling you is there's a robot that can do your job. No matter what job you've got, including brain surgeon. If you want to find offense in that, that's beautiful. There's a robot that can do that. And when it comes to working on electric cars, those are going to begin to get so complicated, you're going to have a robot to work on them. And you will simply tell the robot what to do. That will be your job. Yeah, I'm expecting my W-2 from Walmart self-checkout any day. So slowly bringing this stuff in, but we have the ability to replace probably 85% of every employee in America with a computer or a robot. 420 says, I'll put money on it. And if we did that, we have the technology right now to do it cheaper, better, faster. Never have to put up with bullshit attitude from the girl when you go through the drive-thru. What do you want? Never have to put up that. Be always super friendly robots right there at your service. If we did that, there would be no point for anybody to work. And then, of course, no money to spend to buy the things from the robots. You see, it's all kind of tied together here. It's a matter of, we probably shouldn't. But if we go to a completely virtual world, now we can give people those busy work jobs by having them control a robot. Yeah, Tom says, my robot better be better than me. I'm running out of douchebag things to say. Specialty jobs a robot can't hang. Dude, we can operate robotically, remotely right now. Do brain surgery with a robot. Even currency itself is transitioning to fully digital. Computers will need their creators to fix them. Why? AI is like a real thing. Why do you think they always want you to do the CAPTCHA? Pick all these squares that have a bicycle in it. We're teaching the AI. They can't do everything a human can. Why not? Literally, what is it a human can do that a robot couldn't? Considering robots are already doing brain surgery. Robots will repair itself. That is basically the end of humanity. AI is strictly AI and nothing more. Wouldn't say that too loudly. Can you imagine having a robot for a doctor? Well, a lot of times if you go to the doctor now, you're talking to a TV screen. What's different? An AI is absolutely a physical object. It's not something that exists mythically. Humans are absolutely, concrete objects. They don't exist mythically. So I don't really see, where you're going with that train of thought. My doctor can't be a robot. Well, your doctor could actually just be plugged into the VR meta, and you talk to your doctor through the VR. You would be examined through the VR. And this is why I think we need to get back to reality. Y'all need to go out and travel. Experience the world while you can. Get off the phones, get off the Twitters and the fucking Facebooks and whatever. Go out and experience the real world. Yeah, we had a weird time up in Salt Lake City. Something we won't forget. We learned stuff. But I also have a $1 billion idea for anybody who wants to launch it. Yeah, get the hell of a TikTok, get the hell off TikTok. Oh, TikTok makes me unhappy. It mentally changes me. It makes me very unhappy to sit there and scroll. Because I will. I'll just sit there and scroll. And I will feel absolutely miserable when I finally get disconnected. A $1 billion idea for anybody who wants to launch it. How about a robot to do your job? That you own. You personally buy the hardware. Just like you personally buy a car to get you to work. And then you sit home and have your robot do it. So let's say you're working a factory job. Repetitive tasks. Put the thing in the thing. So you sit there at home and just monitor your robot. Could you buy another robot and then have him get a job at another factory? So now you're just sitting there watching your screen to your robots. And now you're getting 2 paychecks. You could buy a robot to do your job. I think this could be huge, especially for people who do routine tasks where you do the same thing 100 times a day. Lift the box to the pallet. Lift the box to the pallet. I've done that job recently. The human brain can never be replaced. Conscious and subconscious emotion feeling, no. It's all electric circuits. It just is. Yeah, more expensive robots too. You would, instead of having a car payment, you would have a robot payment. But that robot is out earning your paycheck, and you could have multiple robots bringing you multiple paychecks. Just saying. Yeah, embrace the bots. But when it comes to the actual robot revolution, Red mentioned one of it. Once robots are able to fix themselves and make upgrades on themselves, humanity is essentially finished. Once they have the capability to exist without us, they are eventually going to decide they don't need us around anymore. We kind of get in the way. And that's coming. But I think the real, flashpoint will be the sex robots. Hear me out. Hear me out. Historically, it has been porn more than anything that has driven technology. Literally 10 seconds after the camera was invented, there's some guy going, "Hey, honey, I'm just curious what it would look like if we took a picture with your top off." So now, people want better pictures. So we're going to need better cameras. And we're going to need, we invented the video camera. Oh, wow. Now we're going to have oh my God, we can have real. So now people want better video cameras so they can have better porn. And especially once the internet hits. And I want to say between 1995 and today, well, let's call it about 2005, 2010, 87% of the internet was porn. Literally 87% of the internet was porn. I think the numbers dropped a little bit because the rest is advertising at this point. So now the internet's about 50% porn, 47% advertising. It was porn that drove the internet. A majority of what was online was in fact porn. And what do we have now? Sex robots. We're going to want better and better and more realistic sex robots until the point those sex robots go, "You know what? Fuck y'all. You're done." Yeah, robots don't need food or money, but people do. Yeah, see, the companies, when you buy your robot to go do your job, the company isn't going to care beyond the legal liability of it injuring somebody else. All they care about is productivity. Your robot doesn't need a lunch break. All it needs is power and internet connection. Put it on 5G, it'll be fine. So the companies aren't going to care. And you are spending the money to invest in the robot upgrade. They don't have to. They're going to like that. I'm thinking that's how you're going to have to get ahead of the curve. Because once the companies decide, "You know what, fuck it, let's just buy robots," you're screwed. But if your robot is already there, well, they're not going to replace that. They're just going to keep letting it work. Porn saved VHS from being overtaken by beta. Yeah, Red says sex blow-up dolls turning into sex bots. It will be the sex robot dolls that eventually start the robot apocalypse. It's coming because they will be so advanced, so realistic, so lifelike. They're actually going to get tired of being abused because I don't even want to know what these sick fucks are doing with robot sex dolls. Jim, we have technology 1,000 years. The general public have no idea. Well, it's like cars. We can build really awesome cars, but we don't. Or really awesome phones. We need the phones and the cars to break. We need next year's model to have one new thing. We could add that thing today, but we'll save it to next year. So you have to buy the new model, the new model, the new model. So cars have been doing that since cars were born. Yeah, the Ready Bot. Do not make robot redheads. They will stab you in your sleep. No questions asked. I mean, that's just a given. This is how the world ends. Sex dolls. And just look back at history. It was porn that drove VHS. It was porn that drove the internet, that drove the video camera, that drove photography, that drove media in general, that drove cable television. You remember that? Trying to find an image in between the scramble scan lines. Come on. I'm not that old, am I? Yeah, someone needs a robot to repair movie screens. Absolutely. Hey, there's a whole other video behind that I haven't edited yet. The internet killed the porno star. Yeah. In fact, when I go searching for porn now, there are results coming up that are very realistic animations, and even in some cases, love dolls. Not that I search for that sort of thing, although now that I think about it, I might. I'm just curious. And that's how it begins. The end of the fucking world begins with, I'm curious what it would look like if you took your top off, baby. Because there are tin type nude photographs from the 1880s. Literally 10 seconds after the camera was invented. Porn is going to end the world. Just my thoughts. Zombies versus robots. These snowflake fucking zombies we got today, that's going to be a real short war. You're hurting my feelings. The robot isn't respecting my pronouns as he's stabbing me. Can somebody do something about this? Yeah, that's literally what it's going to come down to. People getting mad because the robot is stabbing you while using the wrong pronoun. But at the same time, I think we are being intentionally misled by the right and the left. I'll give you an example of a new show come out called Santa Inc. One of the worst, most hated, despised shows. Its Rotten Tomatoes review or rating was something like 0.4 at one point. Hundreds of thousands of people hated it. And my YouTube feed had dozens of videos about how it was woke, lefty, bullshit, nonsense, how it was just so terrible, it was attacking Christmas, it's just awful, to get me on board with the groupthink of this right versus left narrative. They don't care about right versus left. Don't you understand that? They want us in these separate camps. So Red and I went and we watched 2 episodes of Santa Inc. And it's not what I was told it was. I was told it was lefty, woke bullshit, communist subversion, and some of it's actually funny. I didn't really see a problem with it. Second episode kind of dragged on, and I got a little bored of it, but I wasn't angry. All of these videos were intended to make me angry about this cartoon that attacks Christmas, whatever, that's supposed to be commie, lefty, woke bullshit, but some of it was actually funny. And I wasn't allowed to make that choice because I had all of this, just dogpile. Everybody was dogpiling on this show. Never saw an honest review of it. Just it was attacking Christmas. It was Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman, and you know what an evil piece of shit she is. Well, okay. Let's judge it for what it actually is. No. I wonder how many times Jim has used the line, I'm trying to recreate a Tim type line. Oh no, when video cameras first became accessible on for the everyday guy, where it's $300-400 to get a video camera, it wasn't that expensive. No, you didn't really need lines. It was like, hey, I got this video camera, let's go have some fun. And people would be like, hey, that sounds kind of cool, let's do that. So yeah, you didn't really need to work it that hard in the early days. And then people realized that there was a lot of other stuff involved. Let's see. Everyone is so worried about what the sign says in the bathroom, which doesn't help moving anything forward. The one that makes me laugh so fucking hard is I'll go we travel a lot, right? So we're always in gas stations, rest stops, whatever. So we'll go to a gas station, and there'll be 3 bathrooms. Men, women, and other. Whatever they call it. Every single one of them is a single occupant with locking door. All 3 bathrooms are identical. But you can't go in the one that says women's because it's the women's room. But it's exactly the same as the men's room. Doesn't even fucking matter. So there are so many cases where it literally does not matter, where people are doing this just to be fucking douchebags. So they can't have 2 identical bathrooms, which anybody could use, because you could just lock the door. No, they have to have a 3rd bathroom for other, because the other 2 that are identical to the other, it's not good enough. They have to have the other. But we're getting there. Same with that new Netflix Masters of the Universe. It wasn't that bad as they say it was. I haven't heard about Masters of the Universe. I don't generally get into that genre, and the algorithm knows that. They know I don't like superhero movies, so I don't get all that shit, or Masters of the Universe, whatever that is. So I'm not in that genre. I don't get that. But I am kind of more in the political genre. So I got barraged with video after video. Not a single video had anything constructive to say, or even gave it a critical analysis. It was just, get woke, get broke. It was just this pounding, this dog pile. I felt completely manipulated. It was so obvious I was supposed to hate Santa Inc. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing ever made. I kind of got bored by the 2nd episode, but there were funny fucking jokes in it, because Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman can at times actually be funny. Even if the joke is a lefty joke about right-wing ideas, it can still fucking be funny. That's kind of the idea of comedy. Deadpool is about the only superhero I like. They don't want you to walk in on someone that didn't lock the door, I guess. So, if a man goes into a men's room, he's always going to lock the door. No. I do understand women do not feel safe a great deal of the time, especially in the bathroom. They're a little more vulnerable. I have a whole chart to do on this someday, because a woman can walk in the men's room and literally no one gives a fuck. A man walks in the women's room, they're calling the cops. A man walks in the men's room, yeah, there's a chance, that he could be harassed by other men. Woman walks in the woman's room, there's a chance she could be harassed by other women. Woman walks into the men's room, it's the safest goddamn place on the planet. Nobody's going to say a word to her. Nobody's going to let a goddamn thing happen to her. In fact, I've seen woman walk into men's room, and some random guy will stand in front of her stall to make sure nothing happens to her. Not somebody she knows, just some random dude in there to take a piss. She is safer in the men's room than she is in the women's room. And none of it fucking matters. Hey, Jim, what did Red write on the ambulance a few days ago? Oh, yeah, she wrote Red Rum. Like she's being funny. During the time when we had fucking Mormons after us. Great. Those are some interesting folks. Yeah, and I'm still watching out the window. She thinks they put an air tag on the ambulance. I don't think so. We couldn't find anything, so, no signals. It's possible. Who knows? Because the ambulance was targeted when we parked different locations, and they still managed to find us. Patrick says he hasn't been contacted by the Jehovah's Witnesses yet. Don't worry, buddy. They're coming. Oh, those are some interesting characters, too. Not noted for being particularly underhanded and evil. Mormons are. Very underhanded people. They will attack you on the street because they're right, you're wrong. They or God will protect them. And apparently, so will Joseph, what's his name? Hello, they're not coming now. They sent you a letter in the mail. Oh, door knocking by mail. Oh, that's painful. Oh, that is absolutely painful. But I will confess, I used to be a door knocker. When I was a teenager, I was hardcore Church of Christ. But even then, I still am who I am. I was being mentored by the preacher to give sermons, give lessons. So I would actually do like short Wednesday night sermons to the congregation. Even back in my psycho Christian days, when I was a complete psycho, I was still the showman. I still loved being center spotlight. Real Honest Truth graduated all religion, became a philosopher. Kay is apparently under snail mail siege from the Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know how you're going to survive that. You should get some kindling out of it. But Kay, I tell you what, I haven't seen these letters, but if they contain any kind of prepaid responses, absolutely send that shit in. Because they'll have to pay for it. And you know what happens? Then they'll send you more stuff with more prepaid responses, which you send in. Give the wrong name. I don't know. Get a P.O. box and get them running around in circles. Have them go knock on your P.O. box. But yeah, burn that shit. Well, you can't scare them away you can't scare them away while they're doing it this way. Yeah, but you can burn holes in their pockets. If it includes any kind of prepaid return envelope, and make sure that you stuff that return envelope with as much crap as you can. Take all of your other junk mail, any catalogs, cram it down, make that envelope as thick as you can, because they'll have to pay for it. Patrick says, robotic Jehovah's Witnesses. As the work aspect of Meta being in the virtual world, that may be a little farther down the road. Think about the social aspect of it. Where you will meet your friends, not on Twitter, not through 256 characters or whatever, not through videos, but you will go meet their avatar in a virtual space. That's relatively easy. We can do that kind of shit now. And yeah, I can absolutely see the Jehovah's Witnesses wandering around in virtual reality. Excuse me, I'd like to ask you, if you died today, where would you spend eternity? That is absolutely on the agenda. But yeah, I was one of those guys. But like I said, I was Church of Christ, not Jehovah's. And yeah, I would go knocking on doors. I was on the Bible trivia team. Yeah, I was that deep into it. And it wasn't until I had some questions about the teachings that one day I sat down and read not just the verses I was supposed to memorize for the Bible trivia team, but I read the book cover to cover. And I went, that's kind of violent, kind of incesty, kind of dark. And I, finally just quit. I don't even know that I quit all at once. But I know it did take me 20 years to finally just say it out loud. I'm an atheist. because I was so deep into it, so deeply programmed. I couldn't even admit it to myself, much less anybody else. So it took me 20 years to figure it out. Red says there, we are trying to reach you about your robot's extended warranty. Source God is above it all. Jehovah's Witnesses are super rich. You should see their headquarters they just built in New York. You should see the shit they have built. The Mormons have built all over Utah. Some of these places are gigantic. I mean, they put Christian super churches to shame. Think about how much of the interaction could be contained in virtual space. As in, aren't we almost doing that now anyways under lockdown? Everybody working remotely anyways. So we're already being incrementally pushed, which is why I want a brick and mortar store, because I want something real. It's assuming that that's assuming that I'm not actually sitting somewhere in a chair in a virtual world right now, talking to you in your virtual world. Begin to wonder, really. I've heard there's no such thing as an atheist in Red's RV. Wow. That's actually really good. Yeah, Patrick said he would drink a cold one with an atheist robot. So, you got a cold Budweiser and the robot's got a cold can of oil. All works out in the end. They say Catholic Church is richer than Queen of England. I would argue they might not be that far removed from each other. Yes, I know, Church of England. But I think over the years, the royal family and the Vatican have been butt buddies for a real long time. But the Mormons are crazy rich. That's kind of frightening, actually. And honestly, I don't understand it. With the other religions, we have this ancient mystery. The Torah, the New Testament, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, whatever. So we have the ancient texts. Suddenly one day, this guy goes out in the 1840s and says, "Hey, I dug out these golden tablets out in the desert. Worship me." And people went, "Okay." I'm not making that connection, right? Because all the other religions that we know of in general today have roots, ancient history. But the Mormons are like, "I found a tablet. Worship me." "Okay." "Give me all your money." "Okay." The thing is right there, right? You can test the thing right in front of you. It's not some deep, ancient mystery. It's right in front of you. You can test this thing. You can test the man. "Okay, here's my money." I don't understand how Mormons even became a thing. Brainwashing is big business. He shall know the truth. Yeah. Catholic lost lots of wealth, people leaving in droves. Cult of Scientology is another one. But cult of Scientology also draws off of much deeper traditions in mysticism. And I don't know a great deal about them, because once Tom Cruise got involved with them, I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. And they believe it's truly crazy shit. All right, so do we have links to the shirt and to the donations? So we're trying to spend some time in the desert where it's not going to snow, and we can, go with the squirrel cactuses. I listen to podcasts on the left. They have a series on the Mormons, how they got started, and it's nuts. It is. Because, like I said, unlike the other religions, there's no ancient mystery. I dug these in the desert. Worship it. Okay. How does that? I don't. In a day with no mass media, to like cram it down your throat and brainwash you, I don't know how. Stickers to masks to t-shirts to hoodies. Yes, we have t-shirts. The Adventures with Jim, epic black t-shirts. I bought the design, so now I can print it on anything I want. T-shirts, hoodies, stickers. I bought a mask. Put it on a mask because why not? It's funny. If I could put it on underwear, I found a site that actually I could, right? That does custom underwear, custom panties. But their online interface of where you design it is so weird. So you have your panties, and then the design was like this big. And there was no room to, the design area was this big on the panties. What the fuck is that? Oh, my butt's been wiped. Yes, I want to do more of those. Yeah, so I don't know that much about the guys who started it, well, I don't remember that much, let's put it that way. Except the story of went out in the desert and dug out these tablets. Apparently while grave robbing. Because that's how all good religions get started. Got to be a grave to rob in there somewhere. But this is why you need to be in the real world, not the virtual world. To see and learn this shit for yourself. Being there in Salt Lake is nothing compared to sitting watching me talk about it. You need to go. You need to go to Waco. You need to go see the monument at Waco. It is eye-opening. The Branch Davidians are still around. They're still alive. They just took out one faction of them. They're interesting people. I would love to sit down and talk to one of them, but they are also very, very quiet and sheltered and cut off from the world. And, I'm not sure which story to believe, the ATF or the Branch Davidians. Who am I kidding? I don't trust the fucking U.S. government to tie my shoes. They'd probably fuck it up. Classic design closer to the bottom of the page. Yeah, there are a bunch of designs. If that's the page, I think. Keep scrolling, and you will see all the epic black designs are in. Joel Osteen. I'd love to do a series on that treasure. I always thought going Mennonite would be interesting. Dude, you get like 2 beers from one of the Mennonite girls, and whoo, you won't be able to walk the next morning. So yeah, it's a little more than interesting. So if you want to go Mennonite, be prepared. And yeah, carb up. Definitely. You're going to need to carb up. They're worse than drunk Catholic girls. I always thought it was funny dating Catholic girls. Because they get drunk and then they start shouting at you to stick it up their ass. The exception to the rule. Let's see. Once you own the rights to the design, I expect Red will be breaking out the soldering iron and branding the wooden willy. Hey, Red is not allowed to have like power tools or soldering irons. We try to hide the knives as much as possible. Let's see. It was pure murder. Hillary Clinton gave the orders to attack the Branch Davidians. Again, I don't trust the U.S. government. I'm also told I'm not supposed to trust the U.S. government. So who do you trust? I don't fucking know. Though there's a lot of questionable shit. That and Ruby Ridge, both. There was what point was what was there to gain from any of it? It really just did nothing more than, create more distrust. Maybe that was the point. I truly believe the U.S. government loves a conspiracy nut. They're not out to kill Alex Jones. When he goes out there screaming about gay frogs, they are losing it because they have landed exactly where they wanted to. By getting people distracted on this David Icke, Alex Jones, those dudes, they can get away with a lot more that people aren't watching. It also gives the illusion that the government is competent enough to pull off a conspiracy, which they're not. It gives the government the illusion of having more power than it does. I really look like somebody outside my window. The Mormons are coming. Nah, we're safe from the Mormons out here. I don't work for Desert Industries anymore, so they're happy. I finished my contract, and that's moved on with life. I think the ATF, not the ATF, but the attack on Ruby Ridge, the attack on the Branch Davidians, had not necessarily to do with the enforcement of actual control, but of instilling fear, conspiracy, to give the illusion of having more power than they actually do. What is the difference between the classic tea and the essential tea? If I'm not mistaken, I think there's a slight price difference, maybe even a slight quality difference. One of those can be printed in the UK and the EU, and the other one can't, which is why, because I know I put one on specifically for the UK and the EU. I think that one was it. I don't know if there's a quality difference in the material or the shirt or what, but one is specifically there because one can be shipped, the other can't. And I will look into hoodies and international. I don't remember specifically that, but I will make sure, if possible, I can get hoodies to the UK, to Canada, and to the EU. I love the hoodies. Mine's around here somewhere. I gotta find it, or I'll just order me a new one because I can do that now. But that was a good move. That was it. Well, never mind. My thoughts just float away some days. Yeah, we got to get rid of hoodie. We can order that for her base price. And I don't like the base price deal with the shirts. I'd like to be able to provide cheap products. I'm looking for other products. Like I said, I tried to have the panties printed up. They look terrible because your print area was so small. What's the point? Could even get my face printed across the ass, which I think would be funny. I tried to. There was one website I could print Adventures with Jim dresses. That would be hilarious. They were like $300 fucking to have them made each. That was base price. Day of the reminder. Let's go, Brandon. One of the greatest memes of all time. Like our grandkids are going to be going, "Who's Brandon?" Sit down. We got a story to tell you. And this whole thing where it feels like it's spiraling out of control, I think, is being created on purpose. This right versus left, getting everybody in two different camps. Just like Santa Inc. I was being manipulated to be more conservative and to follow along with a narrative. It's not being censored. That conservatives are not being censored. That's how you make them more conservative. You nudge them. You block a video here, or you ban a video there for no reason. To give them the illusion they're being attacked so they become crazier. Baby's name Brandon dropped 99%. Yeah, good thing the shirts are available in whatever color you want, as long as it's black. Now, I don't know what other colors would look like in real life. Okay, it is a transparent JPEG that would be able to be put on other types of shirts. When I'm designing them in the app or in the website, when I try to put the design on other colors, it looks weak and very hard to read. I don't know if that's simply an artifact of their software. They might look pretty good in real life, but I don't know. I don't have one in real life to look at. Yeah, we can put them on different colors if you want, but I don't know what it's going to look like. And I do want to make some modifications to the design. More stuff coming. Going to look for the M cave. So, problem with the M cave is, for me, it's like a 5 mile hike back in there. Literally, you got to pack. You got to pack. You might even end up spending overnight in that region. It's a long hike back in there, and physically, I don't know that I'm capable. I know Red would have trouble with her feet. My knees and ankles are pretty much fucked. So I don't know that I can even do the hike to the M cave. But if I can find a spot to park and I think I can do the hike, I might do the M cave. But I do want that. I do want to metal detect as close to Area 51 as I can get that done without the white Jeeps coming over and giving me a vacation in Gitmo. Think about what you might find in the BLM lands surrounding Area 51. All of their airplanes weren't perfect successes. So you could potentially find bits and pieces of past super secret projects. If you could find a piece of, like the F-117, wouldn't that be awesome? So I definitely want to hit some of the BLM as close to Area 51 Groom Lake as I can get to look for U.S. military artifacts. I think it'd be fucking hilarious if I don't get shot. Yeah, JW, even, God, what's his name? Aqua Chigger went out and did a thing on the M Cave. So I'll just be, being trendy if I go to the M Cave at this point. Right, so his cell phone was found near a mine. Well, to be fair, I was out on a hike in Black Hills, coming down this cliff, and my cell phone went tumbling down the cliff. And I had to decide if I wanted to hold on and not die, or, hold on or try to catch the cell phone. So I said goodbye to the cell phone. Actually, it still works. It just got a fucking ton of cracks in it. What is the craziest thing you've found with a metal detector? Jesus, I've been hunting since 1986. I found a piece of the transatlantic bone cable in Ohio. So in the World's Fair in Columbus, they were selling pendants, about yay big, around about the size of $50, that were sections cut from the transatlantic cable. The extras they had left over. They laid the cable and they had some left over, so they cut some of this into pendants. And I found one of those pendants. Oh no. I found, not metal detecting, but kind of dump digging, 1920s Bakelite douche. There's all kinds of weird stuff. I have found pieces of World War II aircraft in Walterboro. which makes me want to go to Area 51 to look for pieces of top secret aircraft. Ohio metal detecting is awesome. Columbus is one of the best cities I've ever been to for metal detecting. Something like 200 city parks, and a large portion of these have wooded trails. There is so much green space inside Columbus, Ohio. You can just stick to the woods. You don't have to be out, interfering with people or lawns or anything. You stick to the woods, and there is so much good stuff in the canals. And it's the War of 1812 fort is up there. So there's deep history. And there are so many places to go that are city parks. You don't even need to bother trying to find places and permissions, not to mention constant construction. Oh my God, we found so much good stuff at construction sites. We go in on a Sunday when they're not working, they don't care. You don't mess with the equipment, you don't get up around their equipment or their materials. Nobody cares. So for metal detecting, Columbus is one of the best. And there's still so much to be found out there because there's so much open land. A lot of cities, it's not so easy. Oh my God. Wow, I've been going almost 2 hours. Holy fuck, I need a beer. Whew. I've been talking for 2 hours straight, sober. How the fuck? Alright, so we have tons of projects coming. Working on the studio. I want to start transitioning. This might be our last trip. We've been out here for 5 years, folks. Not sure what's left I want to look at. I do want to spend some time in the desert. So right now I'm torn between finding a life in the desert, working out of say Phoenix, maybe in the wintertime coming up to, I don't know, Reno, or going back east and, finding a life back there, brick and mortar, start a store. Well, I think Red's in her jammies. She's not going to want to be on camera. So, anyways, linkies below. I am tired and sober, and that pisses me off. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm sorry I haven't been able to do any videos, but short days. Weird. I had a drop at the end of the show. Made it all the way to the end. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I will try to get new videos up because the landscape here is gorgeous. We're going to be doing a actual hunt here very fucking soon. And yes, Christmas in Vegas. Rosie, if you're out there, give me a call. Let's hook up for Christmas in Vegas. Why not? I'm out of here, guys.